St. Peter's Basilica and its surroundings are filled with fascinating history, artistry, and symbolism. From hidden viewpoints like the Aventine Keyhole to masterpieces like Michelangelo's Pietà, every corner tells a story. The towering dome dominates Rome's skyline, while the ancient obelisk in the square connects the site to pre-Christian history. Inside, light filters through the dome in stunning fashion, and details like the worn feet of St. Peter's statue show centuries of devotion. Architectural marvels like Bernini's Baldachin and the basilica's sheer size, the largest Christian church by interior space, leaving visitors in awe. Outside, Bernini's colonnades embrace the square, blending art and faith in motion. At the heart of it all stands Michelangelo's dome, the crowning glory of his architectural career, accepted not for ambition, but out of devotion for the love of God and in honor of the Apostle. 1. The Aventine Keyhole. Hidden on Rome's Aventine Hill lies a small, unassuming keyhole in the door of the Priory of the Knights of Malta. At first glance, it seems insignificant, but when you peer through it, you're treated to a perfectly aligned, breathtaking view. A garden path framed by hedges, leading your eyes directly to the dome of St. Peter's Basilica in the distance. This optical marvel isn't an accident, it's a deliberate alignment that creates a magical blend of architecture, nature, and perspective. The Pietà, created between 1498 and 1499, this stunning work of art depicts the Virgin Mary cradling the body of Jesus after the crucifixion. Despite his young age, Michelangelo achieved a level of detail, emotion, and realism that astonished the art world, and continues to do so today. The Pietà is now housed in St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, where it remains one of the most revered sculptures in history. 3. The height. St. Peter's Basilica is not only a religious and architectural wonder, but also a towering presence in Rome's skyline. Its majestic dome, designed in part by Michelangelo, soars to an impressive height of 448.1 feet. 4. The obelisk in St. Peter's Square is older than Christianity. Standing tall at the center of St. Peter's Square is an ancient Egyptian obelisk that predates Christianity by over 1,000 years. Originally carved in the 13th century BC during the reign of pharaohs, it was brought to Rome by Emperor Caligula in 37 AD. But its most haunting connection lies in its location. The obelisk once stood in Nero's circus, the site where early Christians were persecuted, and where St. Peter himself was crucified. Legend holds that Peter's final gaze may have fallen upon this very obelisk, making it a silent witness to one of the most pivotal moments in Christian history. 5. The Dome of St. Peter's Basilica is a masterpiece of light and architecture. Michelangelo's design of St. Peter's dome goes beyond grandeur. It masterfully uses light to evoke the divine. The dome is ringed with strategically placed windows that allow sunlight to pour through, casting a radiant glow across the interior of the basilica. As the light shifts throughout the day, it illuminates different parts of the church, creating a dynamic and almost heavenly atmosphere. This celestial effect was no accident. Michelangelo intentionally harnessed natural light to enhance the spiritual experience of those who enter, making the architecture itself a form of worship. 6. The worn feet of St. Peter's statue. Inside St. Peter's Basilica stands a bronze statue of St. Peter, seated on a throne, offering a blessing with one hand and holding the keys to heaven. Pilgrims from around the world have touched and kissed the statue's feet for centuries as a sign of devotion. Over time, this act of veneration has worn the right foot smooth so much so that its toes are nearly indistinguishable. While many art historians attribute the statue to Arnolfo di Cambio, 1245–1302, others believe it may be a much older casting, possibly from the 5th century. Either way, the statue is both a sacred icon and a living testament to generations of faith. Bernini's Baldachin, a monumental masterpiece in bronze towering nearly 29 meters (95 feet) above the high altar of St. Peter's Basilica. Bernini's Baldachin is one of the largest bronze sculptures ever created. Designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini in the 17th century, this dramatic canopy marks the sacred tomb of St. Peter below and draws the eye. upward to the massive dome above. What adds intrigue to its grandeur is the origin of its material. The bronze used was repurposed from the ancient Roman Pantheon, linking pagan Rome to the Christian epicenter. With its twisting Solomonic columns and rich symbolism, the baldachin is both a bold artistic statement and a deeply spiritual focal. St. Peter's Basilica has an exterior area of 21,095 meters, 227,060 sqft, and an interior area of 15,160 meters. It's the world's largest Christian church by interior space and total floor area, and the second largest by exterior area. Maternal arms of Mother Church. From two special spots marked on the pavement, the columns align perfectly into a single endless line. When he became chief architect of St. Peter's Basilica in 1546, after Antonio da San Gallo the Younger's death. 12. The first announcement to the world that a new pope has been chosen is traditionally marked by the ringing of the bells at St. Peter's Basilica, accompanied by the release of white smoke fumata bianca from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel. Visitors can climb the dome via a staircase of 551 steps to reach the top. An elevator can be taken partway up, reducing the steps to climb. From the top, you're rewarded with one of the most breathtaking panoramic views of Vatican City in Rome. Thank you for waiting, subscribe and turn on the notification. Supports means everything at Spy All in Team.